So how do you assess this one tonight?
We'll always take those wins, you know, but still didn't really play with a sense of urgency. I think we needed to for most of the game. In the fourth quarter, we did a good job of getting some stops and executing and then scoring, but for the most part, we didn't do a great job.
Like you played the entire fourth quarter. Did you know going into the quarter that was how it was going to play out? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he said something about coming out early. Came out early in the first, and went back in a little bit earlier. So I think he's just trying to find something to get guys a little bit more rest or tweak whatever. So I was okay. Just gotta figure it out.
Like how 41 minutes how are you holding up after that?
I'm all right, but the true test is tomorrow morning, waking up early. But we're getting through this stretch of games. We have two days off after our next one, so you can kind of see a little bit of light at the end of this stretch.
How exhausting has this stretch been?
It's been tiring, but like I've said, every team goes through tougher stretches where they're on the road, they're flying different places, they're home, they're away. So we just got to deal with it and kind of get it out of our minds, just because we can't use that as a crutch or use that as an excuse.
Blake, you had a great all-around game, at least from our vantage point tonight. Game high 24 points, 7 boards, 2 blocks, 3 steals. It's a really good all-around game. How do you feel about your performance?
I thought I got robbed on a couple blocks.
Yeah.
No, it was just one of those games. I was struggling early, and something that Doc always talks to us about is, if your shot's not falling, do something else, do other things to contribute to the game, and that's really all it was. Guys were hitting shots, so I was trying to be a distributor. I didn't do a good job on the boards the first half, but just trying to find your area, make an impact, even if it's not scoring.
I apologize if you answered this, but I do. That's a preemptive one. Do you view Wednesday's game as kind of the end of like a pretty rough stretch?
Yeah, I actually answered that before you got in here. I said it's kind of like a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, having 2 days off after this next game. So a little bit, but at the same time, you can't just sit back and relax.
One of the benefits of being home with the stretch, Doc, says that you guys will be able to practice more and more regularly.
Yeah.
Have you sensed that you need that?
Yeah, our last practice was December 5th. I looked it up the other day. So
Practice in Washington.
yeah, that was like a walkthrough.
They didn't stretch.
Yeah, we didn't stretch.
It's not a practice.
It's not a practice. Yeah. It was like a walkthrough. I mean, if you want to call that a practice, I guess we did. But a real place up and get after it, work on some things, practice. So yeah, you definitely notice that. You can see the slippage and the things that we're kind of messing up on that we shouldn't be. But Doc said it, everybody said it. I think everybody acknowledges it. So it will be nice to be able to get some practice time and being at home.
Are the games almost blending together in a way when someone says, remember Saturday's game or Thursday? I mean, is it like so much that?
Yeah, I mean, who did we play Saturday? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're playing all the time. But like I said, I've been through crazy stretches like this before, and I know everybody else has. So I don't like giving it that much attention, to be honest. You just kind of have to just keep fighting through and find that energy from somewhere.
Maybe it hasn't always looked as good, or maybe it doesn't feel as good as last year. But you guys have the same record at this point. Do you think you guys are a better team, or do you not know that yet?
I don't think we've played as well. I mean, maybe to this point, it's kind of hard to remember exactly how we were playing, but we hit a stretch last year, late January, early February, and then when CP came back, I thought we really were hitting our stride, and that's what we have to find. We have to find that stretch, like we did earlier this year in that 8-game stretch where we were playing the right way, no matter who we were playing, and no matter what that team was doing, we were playing the right way. And I think once we hit that, everybody will just all kind of go away.
Is it encouraging to know that even though you haven't really had that yet, that here you guys are in the same position, at least record-wise?
Yeah, it is encouraging, but at the same time, it's more so, for me, it's more so about how we're playing as opposed to our record. It's great that our record is the same. Last year we won 50 whatever games, but I think we can be better, and I think everybody knows that. So.
Do you think something as simple as a practice or two could spark that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we get in there and get to work on the things that we haven't had a chance to work on, I think can spark that, and can help that a lot. So hopefully, we're smart about it, and we really take these practices as a time to get better and a time to kind of move forward a little bit.
Blake, could you describe your frustration level in the fourth quarter when the calls or the non-calls in the situation? I think he did it on purpose. Non-fightable responses.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's part of the game.
Are you guys talking about your tape?
No. It's just, it's a hard game to officiate. I wouldn't want to be the one that had to do it, so we just got to play through it, and I think we found a way. But yeah, I will appreciate it. Enjoy. Don't forget to mention this.
Still an hour left. Let's go, mate.
I just wanted to improve that.
There's a lot of big words out here. A&M. We won our bowl game today, too.
How do you describe this one today, DJ?
It was tough. Utah's a good team. They're playing well. Won 4 out of their last 5. They're a young team, and they play hard throughout the whole game. So we knew that we couldn't play around a lot. And I feel like we had times in the game where we did that, and that's why it was a nail biter to the end of the game.
TJ, shooters will talk about getting into her zone. Can a rebounder get into her zone in the same way?
I mean, somewhat. I just feel like a lot of them, especially in the first quarter, a lot of them just were coming to me. I feel like I've done a better job of tapping it back, and the guys kind of stay around the perimeter if I'm in there, and they just really came back to me tonight. That was it.
You guys had 12 blocks today, and you had 4 of them. Talk about how key that was to this victory.
It was pretty big. Matt had a couple huge ones during the game on Hayward, who really gets a lot of those fouls, and Matt was able to use his length and kind of disrupt them a little bit and get a couple that were big for our team.
It's kind of a weird game in terms of the shooting. It seemed like guys on both teams got good shots. Some pretty ugly misses in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember any of those, but what was that kind of like? I mean, did it have kind of a weird feel?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, they were a lot of the shots that both teams made were tough shots, and then we missed a lot of the easy ones. But ultimately it comes down to us being able to get stops, and Jamal was big for us tonight too. Just attacking their bigs and getting a lot of those pull-up jump shots around 15 feet, and Blake knocked down some shots for us too.
You got stat points in the paint bother you at all? 44-18 in favor of them.
44-18.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's way too many. I didn't even look at the stat sheet, but that's way too many. We can't give up shots like that. Especially, I just feel like a lot of times during the game we were letting their guards get inside the paint, and when they do that, it forces us to help, and they get a lot of easy layups, and they're big down there, especially with Gobert, guys like that. It's easy dunks for them, but it all starts in the pick and roll, us being able to impact it. It's not just the guards, it's on the bigs as well. We have to be able to make that guy take a reverse dribble and not be able to come downhill on us.
You talk a lot about the tip back rebounds you had. I think you had 3 or 4 in this one. Is that something you need to kind of just get a feel for, understand spacing with players?
Yeah, a lot of the times I try to put myself in a position to be able to give us a second shot. And if I can grab it, I'm going to grab it. But if I'm being held or if I'm far away, then I'm just going to try to tip it out. And now I'm being able to see who I tip it to. Before I was just trying to just get it out. But now, like I said, I tell the guys to kind of stay at the 3-point line. I know when we shoot, we want to get back and be able to set up our defense. But if there's a chance that I can get it and tip it to us and get us a second opportunity, then that's what we're gonna do.
What are your thoughts on the matchup against the Knicks, team that's obviously struggling?
I mean, they get paid to play basketball too. They're professional athletes. They have a lot of scorers on their team. Melo's gonna come out and do what he does. So is J.R. Smith. You have to respect those guys. Jose is a great point guard, so we can't come out and play their record. We got to play them, and we'll be okay.
When's this kind of the end of a stretch of games? I know we've talked about this for a long time, and I know you haven't played it as a big deal, but you get to practice afterwards.
Yeah.
You haven't had one. Have you noticed that there's a sense that guys kind of recognize the need for a practice, and is that unique in a locker room?
Yeah, we need to practice. But at the same time, Doc wants us to, be able to have our legs for the season, and we can understand that. But we can't use our schedule as a crutch. That's everybody has to play 82 games. It's not like we're the only team that's playing 82 games. But I will say with practice, it gives us a chance to kind of gel more. Guys were a little banged up, and Spencer just got back. He needs to be able to practice with us. A full practice, and us just to be able to get our gel back and our feel for each other.
All right, thanks everyone.